show is not intended for children, people with heart conditions, and ladies, hold on tight. You will get wet on this ride.
Hey, yeah! Well, guess who just got back today? They're wild out boys that have been away. Haven't changed, nothing much to say. Man, I still think them cats are crazy. They were asking if you were around, how you was, where you could be found. Told me you made you living downtown, driving on the old man crazy. The boys are back in town. Say, the boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town.
And now, live in the studio, your hosts, Tom Mele and LJ James.
Okay, so here's the Earth. Chilling. Damn, that is a sweet Earth, you might say. Wrong! Alright, ruling out the ice caps melting, meteors becoming crashed into us, the ozone layer leaving, and the sun exploding, we're definitely going to blow ourselves up. Okay, so basically we've got China, France, India, Israel, Pakistan, Russia, the UK, and us with nukes. We've got about 2,600 more than anybody else. Whatever. Anyway, one day we decide those Chinese sons of a bitches are going down. So we launch a nuke at China. While it's on its way, China's like, shit, who the fuck is shooting us? Oh well, fire missiles. Then France is like, shit guys, we got the missiles, they are coming, fire our shit. But then let's tired. Well, have a nap. Then fire the missiles! Meanwhile, Australia is down there like, WTF, mate? India, Israel, and Pakistan launched their shit, so now we've got missiles flying everywhere, passing each other. Russia's like, ah, motherland! Then England's like, about that time, eh, chaps? Righto. So now the US is like, fuck, we're dumbasses. Canada's like, what's going on, eh? Australia's still like, WTF? Mars is laughing at us, and some huge meteor's like, well, fuck that. So, now we've got nuclear winter. Everyone's dead except Australia. And they're still like, WTF? But they'll be dead soon. Fucking kangaroos. But, assuming we don't blow ourselves up, us Californians just have to worry about California breaking off from the United States to go hang with Hawaii. Alaska can come too. The aim.
That's great, it starts with an earthquake, birds and snakes, an aeroplane. Lenny Bruce is not afraid. Let's go! I know the hurricane, listen to yourself, turn world to its own knees, stop and serve your own needs, beating up a not beat, blood, no strength, no last, just play with a fear hunt, down like fire in the fire, breakers of the seven games, in a government for hire, in a combat site. Roger wasn't coming in a hurry with the fury spinning down your head. Team reporters, battle drop, down and drop, looking down low, plane, fine, then, overflow, population, common group, and it'll do seconds.
Are we on?
Are we? I mean, we got music in the background here. I mean,
Listen.
Hey, you know.
What?
First, let me.
I know you got something to say.
No. But first,
I know you got something to say.
No, I don't have anything to say. First, let me
yeah.
say, I got to tell you, I never thought in a million years
What?
that you and I would be sitting here again.
Oh yeah. Why not?
Because after what you wrote, how do you write something like that? You never told me this.
Told you what?
What did you write on the internet, on Facebook?
That was a joke, man.
Oh, I think it's very personal.
Come on now, really?
I don't know. I don't know.
What is going on now?
It
is
the end of the world. I mean, see, things already starting to fuck up.
All right, kill the music.
What I'm concerned about, kill the music. All right,
Kill
can
the
we
music.
kill the goddamn music out there
Oh,
already
my God.
with this shit?
Things
All right.
don't change, man.
I'm telling you, you come back, all hell breaks loose.
Hey, listen, man.
I got to tell you, I took that personal.
That was a joke, man.
No,
A joke.
seriously.
Don't be so sensitive, man.
All right. What did you say?
It was a joke.
Tell them what you said.
I said, because we haven't done the show for a while. Tom's been very busy. I've been busy. I had a lot of things going on. But you know what? One thing I found is that when I'm not doing it, is all the news things going on lately. There's been a lot of news out
Wait a minute,
there.
you still didn't tell them what you said.
Oh, listen. What I said was, L.J. James, when L.J. James told Tom Mele, because I'm talking myself in the third person now, when L.J. James told Tom Mele that they would never do a show together again unless the world was coming to an end, he didn't know that Tom, because Tom's in the legal profession, was going to make it a legal and binding contract. I thought, by taking the end of the world, your field in the law firm business type thing, and mixing them together in a joke, everybody would share in the humor.
Yeah,
and
well, I got to tell you,
joke,
I was,
man. If I hurt your feelings, I apologize.
You really did.
So listen, one of the reasons I really wanted to come back here and do the show and all that is I got this great idea for a bit. I really do. I think it's a great idea. I'm going to pretend to be the Queen, all right, of England. You pretend to be Prince Charles, and we call up and see if we can get secret information about the princess who's in the hospital. Or the Duchess or whatever.
And the woman killed herself.
I know. Isn't that great?
You think that's great? That's why I'm telling you. This is why we stopped doing this show.
I think the thing is that when the people apologized, listen, it wasn't even the lady that they talked to. It was the lady who first answered the phone who killed herself.
Yeah, but
so
what happened with that?
Answered the phone, and they're like, hi, this is the Queen of England. Could you put me through to my granddaughter
or
my
she
daughter?
Really sounded?
No.
All right, but if you're going to do the bit, come on, I want to hear you with an English accent.
I can't. I'm saving it.
I bet you the people out there want to hear LJ talking in English accent.
Hello, this is the Queen of England. Yes, can I speak to my granddaughter? And that's what happened. So the lady said, the lady goes, okay, and she hands it to the other lady. And the other lady starts giving the information. Now, I guess because the second lady was told, she assumed that the first lady had verified it. So the first lady who took the call goes out, and it wasn't even anything really bad. They just told she was dehydrated, blah, blah, blah. And she goes out, and she kills herself. Now, I'm still not sure how she killed herself.
I'm really wondering if that really had anything to do with that.
I don't think it did. I think this lady was probably
wasn't
down on her
laid or
luck, she was
something,
depressed,
and
she said, now, if I kill myself right now, people will care about it, and they'll talk about it. If I wait a week, no one's going to care.
I believe that.
I think the people, so do I. I think the people never should have apologized. They should have just said, hey, listen, we're comics,
when you say the
we're
people,
funny people.
Who do you mean the people?
The DJs.
Oh, the DJs that apologized. You think that woman was crying? You think that was real?
No, I think what crying?
The DJ that was crying. I didn't know. Do you think that was real?
Listen, I don't care about them.
No, but I don't know.
I just want
I
their
don't
job.
know if that was staged at all.
Listen, I don't care. They bore me. But there's been a lot of things going on in the news, man. Like what's his name? That guy Neil Armstrong. What's Neil Armstrong? What was it? Lance Armstrong, the one ball testicle freaking guy who rides the bike, right? This guy gets stripped of all his medals. Now he wins that Tour de France, or whatever it is, Tour de France, right? He rides the bike.
I don't even know what that means.
What?
What is the Tour de France?
It's like a bike ride thing. They got to ride the bike.
Well, I know what it is, but what does that mean? The Tour, is it the Tour
it's
of
a
France
name.
or
It's
the
a title.
Tour?
It's a name.
It's a town?
I don't know what the name means or
but he won it.
Or the name originated. But he won it like 7 times. All right, so this guy wins this thing like 7 times. And now they strip him of all his medals. He says he never took these drugs. Other people come up forward and go, oh, yeah, I saw him doing the drugs. And it's like, first of all, you're a rat, you son of a bitch. You're a rat for telling on this guy. Even if he did or didn't, I'm not saying he did him.
These people
that the people who said they saw him. But they're saying now, they're supposedly his friends or they were his friends. And I don't trust that, man. You know, why would his friend be narking on this guy like that, whether he did it or not? Something's up here. I think freaking, you know, the guy's got one ball. You know, he wants to shoot a little testosterone. I think he's just even the playing field. I got two nuts, all right? They make a lot of testosterone, all right? So I get going. Not as much as they used to, let me tell you, all right? I used to have a lot of testosterone, you know. They got pills for that shit now. I'm looking into it. But I tell you, so now here he is. He's taking these shots to give him more energy. Now, listen, me and you, we take one of these shots, whatever this guy's taking, I guarantee you, we ain't winning this Tour de France, all right? This guy's working out. All he's doing is he's popping a little extra energy in it. I think that's good.
You think he's popping it because he only got one ball?
I think that's a good excuse. Listen,
but was
the guy's
did
got
he,
one ball.
wait a minute, but did he actually do the bike ride with one nut?
Yeah,
Or was he?
yeah.
But why does
I don't know
why
where
does
he
he
put
need?
the-
I don't get that. Why does he need both nuts to do a bike ride?
Don't know. I don't
So-
know.
so he
Something
was-
about balance. Chi and balance, I think.
I didn't know that.
I don't
I
know.
didn't know that he needed two balls. But listen, you know, I'm really, I've been excited about this thing. You know, since you called me last night, you begged me to do this show
Yes,
with you.
yes.
I've been kind of
I had a lot
excited
to
about
say.
it. So,
glad. I'm
but I
excited
know
too, man.
how you are with the end of the world shit.
Okay.
And I thought this was. You really believe that this is it? We're done?
Listen, I've never said that. I've never ever said that. Okay, I myself. All right, listen, I'm not a religious guy and all that. I read a lot. I read a lot of history. I read history. I don't listen to things that I watch some of the history shows, and that's one thing I'll bring up real quick. I'll get back on the topic, but I watched a lot of the History Channel lately. I'm watching their shows, and a lot of their stuff they talk about on the History Channel is inaccurate. It's not right. They're brainwashing the American people, but that's a whole thing. I read a lot of the Sumerian. If you read the Sumerian text and all that, and you read the stuff about the Mayans never said the world was coming to an end. Okay,
What did they say?
It was never said. It was there's different calendars. It's like different clocks. It's like you saying to me, "Hey, LJ, I'm leaving. I'll be back in 6 weeks, 2 days, 42 minutes, or
Right.
3 hours, 42 minutes." I set the clock. That's what this is. It's a clock. And when this thing runs out, it's not a freaking, people say it's an odometer, it's going to turn over and start again. It's not, because it's a timer. And what they said was, it was the return of the gods. The gods left and said, we'll be back on this day. And that's what the calendar was set for. Sumerians, the Mayans, they all believe pretty much the same thing.
So you think
That
tomorrow
the
that
aliens
people are going to come
created-
out of this?
Well, that's
yeah.
the story. Listen, I could be. We'll find out tomorrow.
Well,
I'm just
they-
saying. I'm not saying I believe it or I don't believe it. I'm just saying that I read this stuff, and whether it's true or not, it's very interesting. And the whole thing that really bothers me is like, listen, I don't want to bash any religions. All right, people want to believe things. That's great. But what happens here is you have the Sumerian stuff, the Mayan stuff. The Sumerian stuff talks about it's like the first half of the Bible, not the New Testament, the Old Testament. A lot of the Sumerian stuff is that, all right? But it's different. The Bible pretty much stole that. So if I tell a story about me, that something I did, I could be lying. But if you tell the same story to someone else, the same person I told my story to, well, they're going to say, well, you know what, LJ told me at first. Now you're telling it. Well, I didn't really believe the story what LJ told me, but now I know it's definitely not true when he's telling me, because if it's true about LJ. It's not true about Tom.
He's got me all fucked up.
I don't know, maybe nobody else.
I can't follow this.
But
Do
my
you
point
believe
here,
that
I
the gods are
believe
gonna come
if
out of the
anything,
airspace
if
tomorrow?
anything's going to happen tomorrow, it's either going to be a giant meteorite, because maybe they got it
No,
wrong.
NASA already said there's no meteorites.
Well, they said there's no meteorite. Well,
I
of
believe
course.
them.
The government would never lie to us, of course. But if it's either going to be, I believe more likely that the gods that these people translated it were the aliens who were here and gave these people such advanced knowledge. I mean, even the Mayans and the Sumerians had a knowledge of stars and all that. We're just discovering now. Galaxies we're just discovering now.
Can I ask you a question?
So they're much more advanced. I believe that if anything's going to happen tomorrow, which probably nothing's going to happen, because I think people probably translate it
if I
wrong,
had to say,
the
does
aliens will
LJ
show up here
James
tomorrow.
believe, or yes or no, do you think, if you had, it's a yes or no question. It's not do you think tomorrow is the end of the world? Yes or no?
No, I don't believe it's the end of the world. I
Now,
never said
let me ask you,
anybody.
we have in the audience, somebody waiting to come in. Of course, we have Chris Jensen from Casper Paranormal.
Okay.
Now, he's able to somehow, and I don't still get this shit, but somehow he talks to the dead. So I was
Does
talking.
he talk to the dead, or does he tell the future?
I don't know. He was talking to. I guess he talks to dead people. I don't know. I still don't get quite what he. I don't get too close because I don't want to know.
So you want to go
But let me
commercial?
ask you
Bring
a
him
question.
in?
I had a client the other day come in. He was one of these Mormons with the hats they wear like you. You have that hat on. What's that called? What's that Mormon called?
That's Jewish.
No, it's not Jewish. It wasn't Jewish. It was
Mormons or Muslims?
No, Muslims. Mormons, Muslims, they're all the
Turbans.
same, right? Are they the same?
No, totally
Okay.
different.
Well, anyway, he had this hat
Very
on,
different.
and Mormons.
Mormons or Muslims? Mormons?
I don't know.
Did he have 4 or 5
What
wives?
are guys that wear a hat like you?
Did he have 4 or 5 wives, or did he have 72 virgins
And
with him?
that's
There's
another
a big
thing.
difference.
First of all, they're not allowed to have 72 wives.
No, 72 virgins.
I was asking, I was in the conference room, and I said to him, listen, before you go, I need to find this out.
They can't tell you. That's top secret. They
How can
could
he
be
not
excommunicated if they tell you that they got 5
Excommunicated from
wives.
where? He lives in the United States.
I know. Well, he could be thrown out of the
Can I
United
tell you my
States because his
fucking-
wives,
you know,
half
this-
his wives are
Can
under
I
11.
tell you my
man.
story?
Oh, I'm sorry.
The Muslim,
Mormon?
the Mormon, whatever the hell you want, the Muslim.
Muslim?
Is it Muslim?
No idea.
Muslim.
Just story.
The Muslim comes into
3 guys walk into a bar.
the dude comes in.
Okay.
All right. Is Muslim?
It was
It's not
Muslim,
Muslim. It's Muslim.
I don't care. Tell
All
a
right,
story.
So the Muslim comes in. You know, you're a dick. The
Some
Muslim
things never
comes
change.
in to the conference room, and I said to him,
The Muppet? It was a Muppet now?
because Vicky told me that there was something going around the United States that the way to get rid of all, and let me tell you, I'm not against the Muslims, whatever you call them. I think everybody should share in this earth. But this dude
Very
comes
nice.
in, and Vicky was telling me this story that the way, because people are against Muslims, the way to get rid of them is to get all these women to go to wherever they hang out, whatever the mosques, or whatever they call them.
The story haven't ended?
And to strip down naked. That if they see a naked woman, they're dead. So I questioned him about this, and she was very adamant about it. And he
Just
says,
the men
no.
or the women,
He
too?
says it is against their religion to look at naked women other than their wife. That's why these women wear these rags over their face. So what he said was that the first look, God forgives you. Because, let's face it, if a chick was walking down the street naked, what are you going to do? Not you. Forget you. If a chick was walking down the street normally, normal people, you would look and then you turn away if you were married. Well, that's what this Muslim was telling me. That the first look, God forgives you. The second look, he doesn't forgive you. So I said, well, what does happen? Does
Do
he
you
kill
get
you?
you get like 3 shots or what?
For 3 shots for what?
I mean, like, you know, he forgives you the first one, the second one, you get a little lightning bolt hits you, the third one, you get killed or what?
No, but the thing is
And if you
that
explode,
in
you
their
still get the
religion, the
virgins?
reason that they do all this suicide shit is because they strongly believe that if they do this in the name of
Allah.
Allah.
Well, that's a good system. You know what?
Allah,
You want to
that he
build a
goes
bunch
straight-
of terrorist bombers.
He goes straight to heaven. And here's where it
And
may
they
become
get
interesting
virgins.
for you. He gets 14 virgin women.
I thought it was 72.
Oh, so let's
There's
say
cutbacks
it's 72.
everywhere
my
nowadays.
question is whether it's 14 or
Jesus
72.
Christ.
They never say whether these virgins are good looking or not.
I heard
could
they were
be the
Virginians.
fattest, ugliest virgins in the world. You know, but I mean, who would care? But anyway, so that's what he was telling
What's
me.
that?
So,
Biggie's telling me something. They got a small penis?
so
What?
no, so I'm getting to the end of the story here. That according to them, that when they die, they don't believe in reincarnation. That when the world is destroyed in its entirety, everybody then faces the Almighty. What's
Allah.
his name again? Allah.
Don't mess with Allah, man. You mess with Allah, man, that freaking things
Allah,
blow up,
Allah,
man.
whatever his name is.
Listen, I
everybody-
believe in freedom of speech, but you do not talk about Allah,
They
man. Those
meet-
people get crazy.
They meet Allah and the rest of his clan, and that's how they start their new life. So if the world's coming to an end tomorrow, don't you think that these Muslims would be happy today? They're getting 72 fucking virgins.
What do I get?
So anyway, so that's my point. Not that
I
it
have to
made
stay
any sense.
alive and get 2
All
of them
right,
tomorrow.
you want to say this thing because what do we got coming up?
I don't know. What do we got coming up? We got
Vicky's,
commercials or
we haven't.
commercial? Don't go to a commercial.
Hey, listen, it's
I think
great
we're
to
gonna
be
come
back. I
back.
appreciate it. You're watching Tom and LJ here
Oh,
on
yeah.
Madhouse Reality TV. It's a new section now. It's a
I always thought you were changing all the names all the time.
What happened was.
You know what? I don't even want to hear
Because-
about it.
okay,
It's just
we're going
tell
to
me off
commercial.
the air. Nobody
All right.
wants to hear this.
See you later. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Welcome to Formula Auto Wash, where every day is a great day for a car wash. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. till 5:30 p.m. Sundays 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. Detailing packages for every budget, starting out at $29.99. 100% hand wash and detail centre. Hog's hair and microfiber brushes and mitts. Proudly used in Ecolab Blue Coral soaps and waxes. Formula Auto Wash has served the community for over 30 years. Senior discounts all day, every day. Ladies' Day Wednesday, $3 off any wash. Early bird discount Monday through Thursday till 9:30 a.m. Check out our website, formulaautowash.com.
B&M Performance Cycles, 439 South Main Street, Messina, New York. We handle all parts, accessories, and do all repairs. We can custom build your bike for show or hot rod. We also do New York State inspections on all motorcycles. B&M Performance Cycles. Come see us today.
All right, I think we're back, man. Oh yeah.
It's got a sexy finger though. You know, when they put that finger up like that.
I want to know. Your wife puts her finger. That's between you and
Vic,
her.
we
man.
good? We can hear Chris and everybody.
I didn't hear. I didn't see the
Anyway,
actual finger.
let me
Which
just
finger
get
was she
back.
holding
Let
up,
me just get back for 1 minute here, real quick, with you on these, because we brought Casper, Chris Jensen, and Angelo from Casper Paranormal.
I only
here.
see two people.
And but they said that. That's what I said. Casper, Chris,
Casper and
you know
Chris.
What? I'm not going to do this. Take it.
What? What am I taking?
No, because I don't understand.
I don't understand what's going on half the time either, man. You know what? We just got to get back into the swing of things. Did you see this? Your wife gave this to me.
I did.
This is bacon candy canes.
Bacon candy
Bacon
canes.
candy canes. Or candy cane flavored bacon. I don't know.
You know, Chris was telling me something. We were talking about the Mummins.
Mummins.
The
Mummins with a loop. What is this?
I don't know
He
if
was
it
telling me
down
that
on
even
the
when
head.
they have sex with these virgins, that they have to have a sheet. What do
No,
they do?
it doesn't have to be virgin.
they
No,
drill a
even with
hole?
their wife, they put a hole in it so their bodies don't connect.
Listen, this is why these
So wait a
people
minute, they
blow.
have-
Listen. This is why these people blow themselves up. They can't look at naked women. They can't have good sex. I'd be blowing myself up too. I'd be blowing myself, maybe. But I'd probably be blowing myself up, get a bomb, just go. I mean,
Well,
You're telling me that they have to they drill a hole in the sheet.
I wasn't there, but this is what I'm
do you
told.
think they have to drill a hole? Maybe they use
Well, they
scissors?
cut the hole
scissors,
in the
cut a
sheet.
hole.
No, seriously, they cut the hole in the sheet.
Right.
And they put their.
I know more about this too, by the way. Just so you know. Hello, thanks for having us on, by the way.
Oh, thank
How the hell are
I
you?
don't want to know
But
anymore.
no, I really, because these guys are going to come to pick up their check, and I'm going to ask them, do you got to put a hole in the sheet
I would
before
ask
you
him that
screw
because
your
I
wife?
do know also that I do know somebody who was heading up a nursing home, and if actually somebody dies on the floor, that you're like if an old person happens to die on the floor, that
That the Mormons are in?
well, they're not Mormons.
Muslims.
Oh, Muslims.
They're a Muslim, not even the Muslims. They're
I don't know.
certain parts of the Jewish community also.
That's a whole
No, that
different religion.
Is it really?
I think so, yeah. Muslims and Jews.
Yeah, because
It is a
Mormons?
different religion, but this is the concept that we're also talking about, is that they have to
Listen,
get off the floor.
I say,
They
I'm
can't
not an
stay on the
atheist,
same
I'm a
floor.
spiritualist, all right? I believe in that we're all energy. That's what I believe in. Now listen, we're here.
I agree
All
with
right, now Tom's telling me, well, you guys are psychics, fortune tellers, or what do we got here?
Gypsy fortune tellers. That's what we are.
Well, listen, I want to know. Listen, fortune tellers.
we ride a wagon.
About people, I hear about people that can talk to the dead. I hear about people who can tell the future. I'm wondering, is there anybody out there? I mean, just serious question. I'm not trying
Pink
to be
Floyd,
funny,
great song.
I'm not trying to be funny. It's a good thing, right?
Just a little pinprick.
Are there any people out there who can talk to people who are still alive, but talk to their spirits in the future?
Spirits in the future.
I'm wondering, man. There's got to be. Is there anybody out there?
Yeah, that's a good point because everybody talks to spirits in the past.
I can still be alive, but someone could channel my spirit for 20 years in the future, or maybe 6 weeks in the future. Depends on if I stop eating those chicken wings or not. But.
Yeah, well, you know what? I can't. All right, as far as I know, I have not spoke to any.
All right, listen. Let's put you to a test. Heads or tails?
Tails.
All right, you got me this time.
All right, I can do it every time.
All right, let's
all kidding aside for a second. Now, the world. This show is about obviously 12/21/12, which is tomorrow.
Yes, it is.
And I know that the United States has. They actually came on. They did a commercial because a lot of our kids are getting scared. And there's a lot of shit going on. I look in LJ and I seriously stop for a second. Let's put the curtain down for a second. Is that with all of the stuff that's happening in this country, all the things that we see around the world, the hurricanes, the tornadoes, the flooding, all this abnormal activity, and these people going fucking whacked. I mean, this thing that happened up at Sandy Hook, and all of these people, coming out of the woodwork that you didn't hear about 40 years ago. All right, people going crazy like this. Does paranormal people like yourself that are involved with the paranormal? Do you sense anything, seriously, all kidding aside, no joking, do you sense anything from your end of the perspective of whether or not what the Mayans may have predicted for tomorrow, whether it's tomorrow or very close in the future?
When you have a question, you stop at some point. You stop the question.
He's trying to answer his own question.
No. First of all, I'm going to answer that twofold.
Okay.
We didn't hear about this 40 years ago because we didn't have the media that we do today. We're destroying ourselves with the media. Okay? Everybody, every little tiny thing that happens, boom, they're on it. Boom, they're on it. And they flood the networks. You can't turn a channel without hearing about it. Even if you want to escape it, you can't. So yeah, everybody's going to be panicking about it. Everybody's going to change the whole new system because unfortunately, and it is an absolute tragedy, I totally agree, but the media makes it a billion times.
Heard of even, there was newspapers back then.
There was Walter Cronkite. That
was
it.
Going back to even to 1960 where we had television.
Listen, the problem with the media,
I wasn't alive back then.
These days is that people go on the media and they make statements, and they make the statements as that they were facts. All right. The one thing I was talking about, you bring up Sandy Hook and all that. I've been on this a lot on the computer, and I don't want to debate it too much because I could be on it for hours. But people keep talking about, the Second Amendment. We got to get rid of all the guns from all the people because the Second Amendment is too hard to understand. The Second Amendment is not the Da Vinci Code. It's not as hard as it. The Second Amendment is very simple to understand.
To bear arms.
It's a right to bear arms for a well-regulated militia. This right shall not be infringed upon. That's it. I mean, I maybe missed a word or two. But that's it. It's basically the people need to be well armed. We're a republic. America is a republic, which not a democrat. We always think we're a democracy. We're a democratic republic, which means that people will make decisions like a democracy, but the right of the individual shall always be protected by him being able to bear arms and protect himself. So you guys can vote one way. I vote a different way, but I can protect my rights and my way of life. But the whole thing I was going to say is that when you have this whole thing here, look at what the Founding Fathers were talking. They left messages. It's not the only thing they said. Look at what Thomas Jefferson says. Look at what Benjamin Franklin says. They all say a well-armed people to protect themselves against the government. They're not saying anything about hunting or having a small one-shot thing so I go out and shoot a deer. What they're saying is the people need to always be as well-armed as the government. So if at any time the government goes to become corrupt, the people can stand up to the government. That's what these people who just fought to claim a country were about. If people do not get it or they disagree with me, I don't want any phone calls and all like that. Go read your American history. But I just think I'm just tired of that. I'm just told it's
but where
people don't get it.
Less
they
crimes
don't
in
get
this
it.
country. Down in Texas, where you're allowed to carry
You're right.
firearms. Because if you're going to carry firearms, you're going to be less likely to get robbed.
This kid went to that school. He was insane. He shot his mother. He went to this school looking for helpless people. Little children are helpless. Nobody in that building was allowed to carry a gun. He knew these things. He went to a place. He started shooting all the kids. And what did he do? He stopped and shot himself when he heard the police sirens because he knew, okay, I'm not a god anymore amongst children. Now I'm an equal because there are other people who have weapons. So they're coming in to get me, so I'm going to shoot and kill myself and stop this. That's why. This kid had to break into the school. Had one person there had a gun. They could have defended themselves. You go back 30 years. Like I said, I want to be on this all night, but 30 years, 40 years ago, we made those, maybe less than that. We made all these speeches. The same thing we're going through now. Automatic weapons. You got to get rid of all the automatic weapons. If we get rid of all the automatic weapons, we'll be safer. We won't have these crimes. Well, we did that, and it's only gotten worse. We have more crime. We have more of these shootings. Less people have the right to carry guns. People talk about we don't want the Old West. We do want the Old West. Not the Old West of the movies, but the reality of the Old West was people would go to bars, they'd get drunk, they'd get stupid, and they'd get into arguments. But they wouldn't pull out their gun. Even though they had a gun, they didn't pull out their gun.
No, they'd
I'm
beat
not gonna
each
pull
other
my
up.
gun. They'd beat each other up. I know I'd pull my gun out. I'm either dying or you're dying.
Right.
Or we're both dying. People didn't, because even drunk and stupid, they knew. I pull my gun out, this gets real.
It's an
I'm not
unspoken
getting my tooth knocked
respect.
out. That's exactly.
You know?
That's what we need to be at.
Let me ask you,
That's my opinion.
from the paranormal, and again, going back, and it's a very good point.
Thank you.
See, I told you he was good. I think it's like
I get
really-
passionate.
He's got
Very
this
passionate.
thing for history, and I have to give him credit on it. From a paranormal standpoint, do you sense anything from the people that are dead that may be able to do this? Do you sense anything for 12/21/12?
I personally do not sense anything, but I will tell you that all the people who do the readings and the mediums and the psychic mediums out there will all agree with me. I know it, and you can actually, after this show, we'll be on and we'll talk about it also, is that it's become broader now. It's become more, how do you want to say, spirits have been able to communicate, and we have been able to communicate better.
Really?
Now than there
So
was.
it's an increasing thing.
It seems to be an
So
increasing
why do you think
thing
that
to me.
is? Why do you think that you can communicate now more clearly with spirits than you could 10 years ago?
Do you think the spirits are getting more advanced, or the people here are getting more connected, or is it a process of
Well,
both?
my family has been doing this forever, and
Okay.
I was not trained on this, so I don't know. It just happened
Well, it's a
to
natural
be
thing.
there.
You can-
Right.
I believe in it. I believe
So
in
I am not trained on it. All I know is that the more I use it, the stronger it seems to get. And it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And I've heard other people say the same thing. Lately, it's becoming stronger and stronger and
I
stronger.
don't mean to insult you, and I try
It's
not
never a
to.
good start to something.
Yeah.
And I try not to.
There are believers and
But
disbelievers.
there are
That's fine.
people that are in mental institutions that say that they hear and see, they hear voices, they see people. What differentiates those people that are in institutions from you?
He's getting paid. He's
I'm
not
out.
telling the doctor.
I'm out and they're in.
Am I right
That's
or
who you
wrong?
talk
No,
to.
no, you have a good point.
That's
There are
very valid.
plenty of people out there, and who knows that they are insane. It's a judgment call.
So in
really.
other words, I could be sitting next to somebody right now.
Absolutely, I could
We
be.
don't know this.
I could be an absolute.
I think
kook.
what it
Let's
is,
switch
it
with
all
me.
comes
Why do
down.
you always get the desk anyway?
Because I'm LJ.
He's behind the desk.
Well, listen, I think it's all, excuse me, I'm a little verklempt there. I think it all comes down to one simple thing. It's all about the shirt you're wearing.
Yes.
If you're wearing a toga and some weird hat, then and you go out and say, I talk to the dead, then you go, what? You're wearing a nice shirt like the one you're wearing there? People go, well, I'm going to
I
listen.
respect him.
Seriously, you know, when you came in
all
here
in the
one
shirt.
day, you told me we were
Wear
sitting
skull
in,
gear.
We were sitting in the green room, and you brought up my cousin.
Mm-hmm.
You knew things about her that nobody knew.
And
All
not
right.
even purposely.
All right,
I
and
just-
when
it
you
just-
said that she was in a suit or a blue suit, and I take out the picture and there
Excuse
she
me.
is in a uniform, a blue uniform, you knew things about her. The people that they lock up in Pilgrim State in these institutions, well, you may know more about that, but the people they
I
lock
might.
up in the institutions, what differentiates them from you? Are they really hearing voices? Are they?
It's quite
seeing
possible they
spirits?
are.
Are they more in tune with them
Maybe
than
they
you?
can't translate it the way you do.
They
the
have
benefit
gone
of
through
their
extensive
parents.
studies in order to commit somebody, for one. Could I be committed? I don't think so. I think that I can prove what I've done.
I think I could be.
There are people out there that watch. Am I on camera 3, by the way? I guess I am, right? There are people that I have helped, people who were going to end their lives, people who have called us, and I've helped them. I've told them things that absolutely nobody would know. Secrets just those people would know. And I don't know how I do it. Honestly, I really don't. And sometimes, lots of times, I doubt myself. Like, really? How do I know? Remember, I tell you about this. And I'm like, really? I get taken back because I just don't know how to do it. I don't know why I do it. I don't know how I do it. I don't know anything.
I've read somewhere that people that have this type of knowledge, that these brain waves that people possess in order to hear the dead, I'm serious.
Jerry Garcia?
Lose their hair at a young age.
Ah, well, you'd be surprised that I actually grow hair. I choose to get rid of my hair because I don't like it and it's gray.
So that theory is out the window.
I guess. My hair does grow. It just grows gray.
No, seriously, they said that the
Well,
brain...
speaking of the Grateful Dead, though, I want to make a transition over here. Listen, one of the things that, is that me and Tom used to do the show every week, all right? So we did the show every week, and there was always things I got to talk about. The past couple of months we haven't done it because Tom just got too busy and his ego got too big. So we kind of slowed it down, a little bit.
It's bullshit.
It was, man, it was.
No,
listen, let me
I'll
make
tell
my
you why
point.
we didn't do it. The reason
I'll
we
insult
didn't
you more
do
later.
it is
But let me
because
make
you
my
didn't
point.
have a car.
Well, he was getting
All right,
cold
now
out,
you've
too.
got
That's true,
yeah,
too.
and he was afraid of getting his ass cold riding his
listen, no.
motorcycle from wherever the hell
Listen,
he comes
it's not
from
a
out
matter
on
of
the East
being
End.
afraid.
That's why he's not here.
I've ridden in the cold. I've ridden in the cold a lot more than I
Let's
want.
put it where it is. I always
But
have time
I'm
for
going to
you.
come here, all right, on a rainy, cold night, and it was like, hey, you know what?
So that's
it was
the
just,
truth.
But now I got a car again, so we will work on something in a future
Miracles
project.
never cease.
But what I wanted to bring
kind of
up
car you
here,
got?
I got a Saturn.
What year?
American made. Doesn't matter what year it's.
Isn't that
No, I
company
wanna
out of
make
business
sure that
now?
wasn't made, what is it?
It wasn't
like
made in this millennium.
Is it
let's
a
put it
19?
that way. It's 19.
It's convertible in the top.
Oh, it's not a 2000.
Oh, listen, we're going to come back. We're going to go to commercial. All right, am I on the camera here? Camera one? We're going to go to commercial. I'm LJ James here with Tom Mele. We got Casper and the Paranormal Guys, Casper and the Friendly Bunch. And listen, we'll be back in just a few moments. All right? I'm going to talk about pot. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is Angelo from Casper Paranormal. Today we're sitting in with Chris doing a reading. Let's see what's going on.
Okay, I've never had a reading like this before, so just bear with me. I'm seeing bugs.
Bugs? I thought you were a psychic medium.
I know, that's what's confusing. Hold on. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
I'll take the bad news.
I think these are spirit bugs.
Spirit bugs? I've never heard of spirit bugs.
That's just it. Do you want the good news?
Yes.
I know Joe from Bug Busters of Long Island. He'll take care of your problem.
That's great.
You know you already want a Toyota, but when you want more from your Toyota store, you want Smithtown Toyota, where every Toyota comes with Smithtown Toyota's Toyota for Life program, giving you lifetime New York State inspections, lifetime 10% discounts on all parts and service, 2 years of complimentary oil changes, 2 years of scheduled maintenance, and more, all at no cost to you, plus low clear-out deals on every Toyota in stock. Get more from your Toyota store. Hurry to Smithtown Toyota.
Hi, I'm Vinny, owner of VMD Electric. Family owned and operated since 1996, serving all of Nassau and Suffolk County. You can call us anytime, night or day, at 631-669-6915 for all your residential and commercial needs. Here are some photos of our current projects.
right, you're back here on Madhousetv. This is a special edition of the Tom and LJ show, even though I thought I'd never hear myself say that again. But
what's so special about
you know, I always thought that LJ, you know, because he has this very strange way of viewing life, and I've always thought
freedom.
No, I always thought that it was a very interesting way. I think that's what, and I don't want to use the word attracts me to you because I don't want to go down that road. But
no, it's a hetero. You could be heterally attracted to me. That's cool. I don't
but
mind.
that ain't even close. I'm not fucking I'm not attracted. I'm
hetero
attracted.
means it's in a non-gay way.
You know what? See, this is what I'm talking about. This is why we truly stopped the show.
Unless you say to me, you have gay feelings for me. That's a different show altogether.
I'm saying, hey, listen, remember the time we were up in the lighthouse together? You remember that? We went to the lighthouse? But it's another story. But anyway,
told me you love me.
While leaning on the railing.
Yeah, leaning on the railing.
Okay, I did just.
Well, listen. Anyway, I was saying before.
Finish my opening.
All right,
yeah,
your opening. Okay, I'm sorry.
This was supposed to be a serious show. Come on, the world's coming to an end tomorrow. And listen, look who I chose to be with. LJ James and two people who see fucking ghosts. Where else are we going with this show?
Remember, I'm going to see you guys after you go, too. So,
that's that's still a matter of opinion. You may see him. But I listen, I don't, personally, you know my feelings. I don't believe it. But, you know, hey, listen.
You don't have to believe it.
I don't have to believe it. You know, I think that,
when you're dead, you'll have
I
no
think
choice.
that there are some issues. And the reason we wanted to have you on the show is because, you know, when I asked you this question, are the people from the past or the future, or the people that you talk to, are they saying anything about this 12-21-12 to you?
They have not to me, no.
Do they have to anybody?
We already went over that.
I do not know anybody that has.
Well, I want to know. Now, listen, man. I mean,
why is pot legal? See, I knew he was.
Listen, I want to go. No, listen. One of the things I was saying before we had to cut the commercial, and Tom kept interrupting me, but he does that, you know, was that basically one of the things I miss about doing the show is that there's so many great news articles out there, and I just want to shit all over them. And basically, one of the things I liked a lot, one of the good articles, because I have a lot written down here I wanted to talk about, but you know, Tom doesn't just shut the hell up. But basically, in two states, they made pot legal. All right, this is great. I don't really smoke anymore. I was a rebel, you know. Pot was illegal, and I still was able to get it. You know, how does that work? I mean, think about that. How does that work? Pot was illegal, and I was still able to get it easily. So making something illegal doesn't make it disappear.
Right.
It just makes it, hey, can I have that? And then it appears again, but in my room. So
in a brown paper bag.
In a brown paper
two
bag.
States brought back
Washington and Colorado.
Jersey.
Jersey. No, Jersey, I think, made medical marijuana.
Yeah,
legal.
well, it's the same thing. You don't think that's going to get out?
No, this is completely legal. You can buy it and have it. Anybody can have it.
You can't smoke it in public.
You can't smoke it on the street. No, well, that's
Right.
you can't drink on the street. You can't be drinking public. You can't be drunk in public.
You know, I had this conversation with Devin,
Did you?
and I asked him. I said, Devin, if they legalized pot in the state of New York, would you smoke a joint? And he said, absolutely not. Now, to me, he's a prude. And I'll tell you, because wait a minute, because he will drink a beer or he'll drink alcohol. His thing is that it was once illegal. Well, alcohol was once illegal in Prohibition days, right?
Right.
So I thought that, you know, if they
that's a common sense thing. This is one of the
same thing. I haven't smoked a joint since I was Ma, shut the volume down. I haven't smoked a joint since I was in high school.
Okay.
Right. So, but if they legalized it, I think I would do one.
I'll tell you what.
You would do one. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
But here's my point. Here's my point that it annoys me a lot of times. The things that they talk about, we can't make things legal because then everybody will go out and do it. Now, Tom's sitting here saying if it was legal and he couldn't get in trouble, he might go out and try it from time to time because he wouldn't be a criminal now. He couldn't get fired from his job. But the problem we have here is the government wants us to believe that if they make marijuana legal, that everybody's going to go out and smoke it. I don't smoke crack. I don't shoot heroin. But if it became legal tomorrow, you know what? I still wouldn't do it. Because you know what? It's not my thing.
You don't smoke?
I got to tell you, I smoked a lot of pot when I was a kid.
I'm talking about pot.
Yeah, I'll smoke here and there, but it's not my thing.
But if it became legal, would you smoke it?
Well, that's what I was going to say. When I was a kid, I don't drink alcohol. But that was my thing. I smoked pot. But this is when I was 20, right? I was 20 years old. It helped me communicate better with people who were bad. No. But I think it was opium. I don't know. But anyway, no.
Jimmy, come on.
But no, I wouldn't smoke it today because I did try it about 15 years ago, and I was like, oh God, what shit? Am I gonna have a heart attack or something? It's not the same.
Yeah,
I had good
exactly.
stuff, but you know what?
We've changed too. Like we've gotten older. Like I said, I think it's a little bit
have a
the
desire
drugs have
to do
gotten
it
stronger.
anymore.
They've grown it different and all that. But I think it's
I
one
wouldn't
of the things
smoke it, no.
you want to talk about. You want to talk about good drugs. You want to talk about good drugs and enjoying a good drug. One of the stories that I would have liked to have talked about if we were doing the show, and I would have reported on more, was the guy who jumped from outer space. So you got to think, what kind of drugs are you on when you're sitting there going, gasping? You know what I'm going to do, man? I'm going to get in a rocket ship. I'm going to go all the way up to space, man. I'm going to jump out. I'm going to come flying down. And right before I hit the earth, I'm going to pull a parachute, man.
And I would smoke with them, and I'd say, you're a dumbass. That's what I would say.
But someone went and did this. Someone went and did this, man. I mean, it was kind of cool, you know. Yeah, he lived, man. He did it. It was a space jump. The guy went up into space,
It was cool.
right to the thing. You saw it, right?
Yeah.
And he jumped out of there, and he came down. He hit the parachute, and hey, listen, man. That was
the guy
some
that
good.
jumped from space?
That's the guy who jumped from
That's when
space.
he Yeah, but
That's
dude,
the guy who
how
jumped from
long do you
space. Yeah, the guy who
parachute
jumped
for to
from
get
space.
back
Was he
down to
smoking
the...
a joint when he
I don't know, but
He should have been.
He should have been doing something.
I got to tell you, that would have. See, now that.
That'd be a good commercial.
I don't know.
Like the Red Bull commercial, marijuana commercial.
Oh, yeah, he's jumping over.
Jump out of
They get
space.
you high, like Acapulco Gold.
Can't get any higher than that. I mean, you can't get
Joint
higher.
even stays lit at 50,000 feet.
Yeah, right.
Even at 50,000.
By hours.
Oh, man. So many things going on in the world. What else we got here? I want to say, too, is that, what the thing got me was Facebook, the whole Facebook thing. They released Facebook as a thing. It was the big hype and all that. Everybody bought the stocks, and the next day it crashed.
Boom.
I didn't buy
No,
any.
it's back up now. I mean, it's falling
Yeah,
around.
it may
But
as
let me
well
tell you
level
something. Can you mind if I interject for a second?
Let's interject
Just so
away.
you know, with Facebook, the new platform that we're sitting on with Madhouse TV is MadhouseRealityTV.com. This platform is being put together by F6 Digital. And what they've done is they are creating the platform to allow for something called tiles. So now that not only can you watch us in that big square that you're watching us in right now, you can interact with actual people that are live video chatting on these individual tiles.
Can they get naked?
They can do anything they want. It's the internet.
I'm in. I'm in.
So check it out.
How much for the
It's gonna be
stock?
the new phase in phase. It's not for sale yet. But listen, we've got a couple of minutes left here before we've got to end the show. And I'd like to end with that song if we could. You know,
I want to say goodbye to Jersey Shore, man. Not just the TV show, but the whole show itself.
Oh my God.
And listen, you know what? I always
that was
like
sick. Why did you say that?
You know,
I just caught
because
that.
it wiped
They
away.
started a Farmingdale
Now listen.
company to piece that back together.
Where'd you fucking-
for $25 million.
Well, the show
So
ends
what?
tonight, man.
The
The show ends
boardwalk in
tonight.
Jersey.
Really?
Now, listen, here's the thing. I was just wondering, it's probably off, listen, people get mad at me all the time, and this is something probably people get pissed off, and I apologize if you guys get mad. But here's one thing I'm wondering now. Like, what is there? Is there like a time limit after someone dies that you have to wait before you can talk to them?
No.
Like I said, you had this Sandy Hook thing. I mean, these parents are probably upset. I mean, is there a way to set it up where people can talk to their kids?
I wouldn't do that.
I'm saying, why not?
We're
Why
actually
not?
going to be touching on. We're going to be touching base on that on our
I mean,
show.
listen, I don't mean to be funny. I mean, I'm a funny guy. I'm just curious now.
If a
sometimes.
parent
That's
came to
screwed
me and said, "We need your help," I would do it privately. I wouldn't do a grandstand like this. One paranormal investigator wanted a grandstand
Good
and go
for
to
ratings, though.
the elementary school and do an investigation. I find that to be disrespectful.
Do you? But what about 10 years down the road? Is it still disrespectful?
time.
Is it time?
You gotta let people. You gotta let people.
I feel
First of all,
different.
I don't
I
think
feel
that-
different because you know what? People always say, "Oh, you gotta give things time, give things time." You know what? I feel sometimes you gotta react from passion. And right now everybody's passionate and they're willing to give up their rights. And that's one thing I keep wondering. Like we had 9/11, and 9/11, and what everybody do? They turn around and gave up their rights. They Patriot Act. Oh, we'll give up our rights. The government's will keep you safe. What has happened to America? And I'm really pissed off about this. What has happened to this country where every time there's a terrible tragedy, and I'm not making light of these tragedies because I hate them too. I wish there was an answer. But every time there's a tragedy, we answer the tragedy by giving up more of our rights.
Now,
Listen, the people, American people, the American people, I mean, the government's taking them and they're putting on the media, on CNN, telling people, you got to give away your rights because this is what the founding fathers would have wanted. They're lying to the people and the people are just believing it. Every tragedy that happens, we lose more and more of our rights. This is every movie. You watch all these movies about these, the world. What was that? The V for Vendetta. I mean, even Star Wars. Basically, the point. Tragedies. You cause tragedies. I'm not saying the government caused Sandy Hook. I don't think they did that. But I think that was just a terrible tragedy that they're now using for their agenda. It's you follow Hitler, follow Germany, follow all these things. Every time there was a tragedy, what they did is they took away people's rights. Follow your history, people. That's all I'm asking. Don't believe me. I'm just some burnout guy who freaking did way too many drugs when he was younger and ate a lot of chicken wings. But what I'm saying is that the answers are there. It's like a scientist. You can either do the experiment yourself over and try to figure out the answer, or you could read a book where 100 scientists who did the same experiment and see what their conclusions are. If the 100 scientists all did the same conclusion, you can still do the test yourself. But now you've got a basis to start with. Read your history.
Can I just ask you a real quick question? Yeah. What do you think about the people that are taking advantage of these people?
As how? What? You mean like taking the rights away?
No. Taking advantage. Like these kids, they found somebody in the Bronx that had a phony website for that kid that died in order to try. Yeah. What do you think of that?
I think that's just common practice. I mean, listen, there's always going to be people
trying to swindle somebody. There's always going to be people trying to take it.
One of my favorite sayings is, there'll always be people who will use brotherhood. As a biker, there'll always be people who use brotherhood and loyalty against people who truly believe in brotherhood and loyalty. And what it means by that is that there are always going to be good people out there, and you're going to believe. You're going to want to believe in the good of mankind, all right? And that's the best people out there. But there'll always be people who take advantage of you. And the only crime in that, all right, I think these people are criminals. They're doing that. But the worst part of that, I want to say the only crime, I want to say the worst part of that is if you let that dissuade you from doing good things.
Say goodnight, sweetheart.
All right, good night, sweetheart.
All right, we're
Listen,
out.
It's been good to be here. I'll see everybody soon.
All right, we're clear. Is it on? Raise the volume on the blues. Shut off the volumes. Here we go. We're out. All right, hang tight. Don't go nowhere.
I think the media just blows everything out of proportion. There's more people seeing things now because of the media.
Right.
The media wasn't there on scene, the less we knew, the better. Government also.
To a degree, yeah. I think the problem is we're told, and it's just annoying.
Bernstein, Leonard, Brass, Nap, Lenny, Bruce, and Lester Banks' birthday party.